everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please do well to subscribe and click on the notification button. This is Sew with Grace and we are here to learn everything about tailoring. Okay, so now and to our returning subscribers, thank you so much for sticking around. So today we are going to be learning an important something again on tailoring for beginners. We're going to be learning stitches and how to do them, so that not when we enter into the business proper, you won't understand what we are saying, and maybe when you go and try what we did and it did not turn exactly the way you wanted it to look like, maybe the stitches, the kind of stitches and what you are using might contribute to whatever result you are having. So we're going to be looking into stitches today, and I'm just going to tell you the basic ones that you will be hearing often, and I'll just try it and show you so that you can always try it anytime we are sewing this thing, or when we call them, you will know them and you know why we need to use them in other particular place how we are using them. So you're going to be learning things like top stitching, excuse me. Okay, and you're going to be learning things like bracing. Remember that most of these things, I just call them, it's my own name, or might be other professional names that they call them, or any other name any other person calls his or her own, but this is what I call them. And I believe that we're going to be learning folding. Okay, this is a dress, that a small dress I'm trying to use for the illustration. So this is a joining. After joining this, you can see how rough it is. It's not relaxing. This side, I'm referring to this side. Actually, you can use iron to hold it down. But should in case you're in a location where you don't always have light, what do you do to achieve a very good and perfect finishing? So look at the top stitching. See the way it held the fabric down. So you just bend it towards the inner side, the allowance side or the armpit side, and you just top stitch on top of it. Top stitch, I mean, is when you bend it, you just carefully follow a pattern. Let the gap be the same thing. Okay, the gap should be the same thing. You just carefully, and why I use black thread on this white, so that what I'm showing will be visible. You carefully follow it like that and you top stitch on it. You can use this when you are making something like an English wear. If you're also sewing your breast cut, you can use it. If you are in a place where you have problem with light, please use, I advise that you apply this top stitching on your clothes to get a better finishing. Now about the neck, you can also use the top stitching at the neck side, at the neck. If you're a beginner and your hand is still shaking when you are sewing, I advise that you use this top stitching of a thing and do your finishing, so that your stitches will not be showing. So look at what I'm going to do to cut out what I used to turn the neck of that cloth. Okay, so I'll just fold into two, and I'll fold this one, the cloth I want to do. The same thing you do at the front, you're also going to do it at the back. All right, so now I'll just fold it. Let me use it. Please don't use it on an actual dress, so that you don't stain somebody's clothes or stain your own. It might not wash out though. I'm just doing it because I'm using it to show you something. So I'll just tress it. After tracing it, the next thing to do is to cut out the width that you want. You know, I'm not going to use all this thing. There will be excess inside the material. So I'm just going to trace it out. 3.5. It's not like 3.5 is the standard measurement. You can use any measurement of your choice, but please, by all means, don't let it pass 6 inches or 5 inches. So I'm just going to trace out this thing. I'll cut it out. After cutting it out, see what I have. So see the neck of the cloth and see what I did here. You see it's fitting proper on the cloth. So I'm just going to step out now to join it and show you After joining it, I'll show you what to do before you now do the top stitching. This thing that is here now, you can't join and go and top stitch like that. Please, when you do it, the neck will be moving around, as in the neck won't be stable, it won't be relaxed. So the next thing to do is to start notching. There's something they call notching. You start opening it small small, and please, when you are notching, don't cut the line that you joined already. Just gently notch close to the line, but not the line. Gently notch close to the line, not the line, gently. After notching, remember that I've joined this thing. I've joined it to the neck. I've joined it to the neck. So, and I've done the notching. You can see how pieces the allowance is. And when you're joining, use half an inch. You can see how pieces the thing is. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to open it like this. If I don't sew from the front here, I can sew from the back here. I'll just open it like this. I'll press it down and sew on top of it like this. So I'm just going to go and join it and show you what it is like. And once I iron it, the cloth will just relax. So that's about neck top stitching. So I've succeeded in top stitching. Remember, I'm using this color of thread because I want what I'm sewing to be visible. So I've succeeded in joining this thing. Okay, in not joining, sewing on top of it, top stitching on top of it. Did you see it? And remember that the top stitch should be, if you should sew on top of the one that is inside, not the one that is outside. But because the aim of this thing is to get a better finishing, so you sew on the one that is inside. Okay, so after top stitching, see what we're going to have here. Did you see it? It will naturally relax. So it will naturally relax, as in it will stay at that back side. Remember that when you are going to iron it, you push it down a little. You push it down a little so that this line will not be showing, and you just iron, and you see the way it will relax. Another thing I want you to also take note of is that if you want this base, as in the neck, to be firm, very firm, you are going to use what we call pepper gum to pepper gum and cloth gum. Use it and gum on the cloth. You gum cloth gum on the paper gum, on the material itself, and now use pepper gum on the one you are using to turn it. And by the time you finish those things, you see how it's going to relax, and it will stay naturally. But if you don't have pepper gum and you don't have gum stay for this, you can use your hemming gum. While you are joining this thing, you just put hemming gum while you are joining it and join them together, so that by the time you finish, you want to iron, once you keep your iron on top of it, you just seal it and you won't have any problem. But make sure that before you go and iron and seal, you must have joined the front and the back, so that if you seals it off, you won't have problem of opening here to join the back side of the shoulder. Okay, so that is it about this thing. So the next one we're going to talk about is the last one, which is folding. Okay, it's not the last one. I'm not talking about bracing. So the folding, please, when you want to fold, don't fold this way and sew on top of it. It's wrong. Except the only way you can fold this way is when you are working with the weaving machine. You must have weaved the surface of that in this edge. If you weave the edge, you can just fold it and sew on top of it. Okay, but if you have not folded, if you have not weaved it, please don't just fold clothes this way, because I've noticed it amongst my trainees and it's wrong. See, you might be right, you just want to rush and finish the clothes, but then when you wash the clothes like 2 or 3 times, you see that that place become a mess. So what do? You fold into 2 and join. You see, this should be depending on the size of the folding you want, but make sure that the one that is inside is smaller. Then you now fold the actual size you want. So I'm just going to run through this thing and show us the outcome. So here is the outcome of our sewing. Before I continue, please do well to subscribe to the channel if you have not done that, and click on the notification button. Drop your comment in the comment section. So you see how I sewed at the tip of the folding. But if you're a beginner, please don't even, I wouldn't want you to stress yourself. You just sew what you can achieve now and use ironing to do a proper finishing on the clothes. But I also want to advise that if you are interested in doing this and doing it well, the best way to master your machine is to be consistent with your practice. If you are practicing it every time, you find out that you will have a better stitches and your hand will be more confident anytime you are using the machine. Okay, you can see that the dress is already finished. So if I just attach the back now, I'll have a crop top for this dress. So the next one we are going to talk about is the bracing. The bracing. Bracing is when you carry a cloth and put on top of another one, or put any fabric and put on top of it. You will see this most time when you are sewing a lace, as in those laces that you see them sew, you see that it's transparent. So they will buy something like doll face, Duchess, crepe, or anyone you are using. They will use it and place it on top of this one. In case of lace, you will cut out the same measurement with the lining you are going to use, and you place it on top and top stitch before joining. But in case you want to use another fabric and do design on another one, that's the intention of you bracing, just like this one now, you want to put a design on it. That one, there are other methods we can achieve. You can use gum and hemming gum on the other lace, on the lace. So, but for case of this one, you can still use gum and hemming gum. But as a beginner, I will advise that you don't always apply gum. So I'll explain before telling you why you don't use that. So you just place it here. If you want to use something like hemming gun, you just cut out pieces, but make sure that the pieces is under these places that the designs are thick. It's not showing very well. And use iron on top of it so that when the hemming gun melts, the patches or the stain will not be showing on the fabric. Okay. So you just cut it out, bam, 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 and just drop it and use your iron, seal it out before joining. Remember, whatever you are doing when you are finished, except there is stone or it has a perfect edges, you can now use gum very well and do it. But if it doesn't, and something like this, maybe you are joining a fabric on another fabric, you are combining two Ankara, so you can use gum. You just put gum at the back of it and just gum it. But I don't advise beginners to use that, because sometimes you might have what you want to do in your mind, but by the time you finish doing it, you see that you are doing the opposite of what you wanted to do. So the best thing to do is to place it the way you want it. Then affix pin, don't hold it. Then after holding it, you can now join at the edges. Okay? It will still give you a perfect outcome. Or you just use hemming gum at just small places. Then after, you still use affix pin and hold it, and now join what you want to join. Okay, so why I am taking time to explain all these stitches, why I'm taking time to explain all these things is because so that when we'll be mentioning some terms, it will not be strange to you. And I also want, at the end of the day, if we are sewing and you're doing your own at home, the outcome will still be the same thing, because we are following the same pattern. All right, that's why I'm taking time to explain these stitches for us. All right, so thank you for watching, and see you in our next class. All right, and please do well to subscribe if you have not done that, and click on the notification button. Drop your comment in the comment section and give the video a thumbs up.